looking for a place I could winter. I come to Tucson, so one thing led to another, and started out putting all patch traps in the houses. And then we started working on more RV line, 50 amp, sewer, water, extended the line. Then one thing led to another, we extended the trap line. And now we've got a real good board we work with.
I'm the first one out there shooting in the morning. They call me the alarm clock. This buddy of mine's got his camper over there. He goes, 7:03, there's Stan, you know.
Yeah, right.
So, and I can tell you that your staff is really incredible.
That's what we strive here for, every one of them, seriously. I mean, it's throw this big of a shoot on this time of the year where you can't get school kids to help you. It's
right.
Sometimes it's challenging, but so far we've been pretty lucky. And then we get a lot of volunteers from our guests that winter here with us, helping us out if we run out of staff. And the Air Force has been good to us. We was all set up this year to go, and they got deployed to South Korea for the Olympics.
Yeah.
So we lost a bunch of them. So, but we got through it. We're going.
How long from the time that you fell in love with this place to right now with 52 traps? And explain to the people what do you have in the facilities? 52 traps and
we got the trap line at 52. We got 4 bunkers, 5 bunkers. We've held the World Cup here. We've got 14 skeet fields, international or regular. We've got about 4.5 miles of sporting clay roads, 5 stands, super sport, feed task. It's all set up. If you're here at this club in the winter months or in the summer months, which a lot of people don't come here, you can shoot bunker, international skeet, trap, 5 stand, feed test, sporting clays. At any given time you want to. Everything now we've got automated to practice cards. You just walk up, put your card in the machine, and go shooting. The whole sporting clays that way.
Wow.
And it's working.
And how long did it take you from the time you fell in love to where you are right now?
We've probably been 8 to 10 years at it. Yeah.
Well,
I'm there for a long time. I had to help the club quite a bit. And the last, I'd say 2 years, it's been on its own, doing real well. So
great.
it finally hit that pinnacle and got good management of the money.
Yeah.
And we're a 503(c), so we make our profit immediately goes back into the club. Right back into it for something better for the guest, you know. So, yeah.
Well, there you have it. That what you just heard, that's a definition of a true ambassador to the sport. Not to mention, he's got 2 Grand Slams. So this man can shoot himself. But if you want to define an ambassador and someone who has the passion and the love for this sport, this is the man right here. And so, my friend, I thank you for the facilities. I'm having the time of my life. I'm shooting well, and I got to tell you, I'm really happy. So, and there's probably 800 guys out here that are just as happy.
Well, y'all are, because I'm not shooting real good right now.
Well, again, I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
I appreciate your time and everything that you've done, you know, for the sport.
Yeah.
With that, we will see you at Hunt the Racket. Hi folks, Stan Baker with Hunt the Racket. Hey, we're really excited today. We are in Tucson, Arizona at the Spring Grand, the 2018 Spring Grand. We've shot the prelim the week before, picked up some All-American points. I got 2 firsts, 2 seconds, and 2 thirds, accumulated some points. Won handicap yesterday in the vet division, so I'm pretty excited about that. We're shooting okay. We can shoot a little better,
But as we go along here in the real Spring Grand, we'll be following my results. And guess what? Jeff Nostrom's here with us today with his daughter Sophie. And Sophie is in the sub-junior division. She's 12 years old. She's an excellent shot. We're gonna get an interview with her. But what I wanna do is introduce you to
Anita Carmelo.
Anita Carmelo. She runs the practice squads here, and she's been giving me a hard time because I'm normally the first guy on the line. About
true.
7 o'clock, I like to get my eyes all warmed up, and she's got the traps all ready for me, and she's done a tremendous job. She's got a crew out here that is top notch, and she just does a great job. So what do you think about all the practice?
Well, you
round?
definitely put me to work in the morning, and it definitely gets busy out in practice. So
Yes.
I'm thankful for the help that I do have this
Right.
year. And yeah, it's been going well. Now that the weather's cleared up, that's for sure.
Anita actually brought her son yesterday, and you got him on the payroll. He was kind of excited about that, right?
Oh yeah, he's definitely, and he's still out here now.
Yeah,
So.
I mean, you can't believe we'll probably have 800 shooters today. So these guys are going to really be popping. They're the ones who are in the, the backstage making it all work for us old guys trying to have some fun. So we want you to stay tuned. We've got a lot of interviews left. We've got a lot of shooting all week, and we're really excited. We got Harlan Campbell, we've got Ray Stafford, we've got, yes, yours truly, and Ricky Marshall Jr. is going to give us a little interview, and we're going to kind of go into his life and how he got started in trap. And so we'll have a lot of some information for everyone to learn in their trap shooting. But so we're really excited. Got a beautiful day, a little breezy today, so it should be sporting, but we're going to have a good time, and we will see you at Hunt the Racket. Okay, folks, we just got done with singles and handicap, and I'm really happy to tell you I broke 100. Yes, I broke 100 in this wind, and I got to tell you, it was very sporting. Now, when I went to the handicap line, 23, 23, 23, 23. Every bird I missed either jumped the barrel or dove underneath the barrel, or moved the gun, and I was trying to time the bird. So it was really sporting. A lot of the guys dropped out of our squad. It was me and Jeff. So we just used it as a practice round. And we did pretty good, and we had a great time. We were laughing and whooping it up because of the wind. But hey, I'm really excited today. We've got with us today one of the top trap shooters in the country, Bob Clement. I call Bob in it or win it Bob Clement, because when you look at the score sheet, this guy is always there. I mean, he's just never goes away, very consistent. Bob, I really am very thankful that you took some time to talk to us today.
No problem.
Thanks. Now I'm going to ask Bob something. Now, especially we're going to talk about handicap. Handicap. What do you think about when you go to the line? What are you thinking, and what are your most important thoughts?
Well, for me, it's I have to get my mind in the right place. I can't be thinking about the wife or the dogs or the kid, anything else.
Right.
I have to be focused on the event. The other thing that I've found personally over the years I've shot is I sometimes change my style depending upon the conditions that are around me. Like yesterday we had really bad visibility, and I normally hold down low on the trap, watch the bird come out, watch which angle it's going. But I couldn't see the birds because of the daylight. It was like somebody had a light switch turning it off
Right,
and on, you know.
right.
So it was dark, I couldn't see them, so I'd raise my gun and start shooting better. The other thing for me is, A lot of people, they shoot off their front of their bead, they look down their barrels and look at the bead. I don't. I look at the target, and focusing on the target is the biggest issue. So for me, I want to make sure my visibility is good. So I have my eyes checked about once every year, have all new glasses made. And then when I get into it, I want to do everything the same on every post.
Right.
My foot stance, the way I mount the gun. If I don't mount the gun right, I put it down and remount it.
Restart.
Restart. You got to restart. And then I try not to listen to any of the distractions around me,
Right.
because there's a lot of distractions sometimes on the line. And my big deal is, I tell myself constantly, is because I do shoot, I've been told, too fast.
Right.
I tend to be aggressive, real aggressive, but I don't know that that's a good feature. I think being more controlled with your emotions, being more stable, and being, the key word that I call it, smooth.
Smooth.
You got to be smooth in handicap. It's not like it's actually, to me, handicap and trap shooting is like shooting a shotgun like a rifle.
Right.
And a lot of people don't understand that, but it's.
And you know, he mentioned smooth I would say 6 months ago. He told me that over the phone, and it's funny you said that, because today that was what I said before I called for the bird. I would tell myself smooth, deliberate, and smooth. And remember, we've talked about that aggressive. You have to be aggressive, move to the bird deliberately, push through it. He's saying all the right things. So, we're really excited that you could spend some time with us today. And we expect to spend a lot more time, in the future.
Well, I've been impressed with you, to be very honest with you. I watched a guy that was just learning how to shoot a shotgun a year or so ago, and now he's up there at the top.
Well, I've had a lot of good help, like from guys like you and Ricky Marshall and Ray Stafford. All these guys are very helpful, and that's one thing that we want to really get across. We want members in the ATA. Pick the phone up, just go to shootata.com at the bottom of the screen. Give them a call, $20, you can join. And it's one of the few sports that you get better as you get older, as long as your eyes stay good.
Yeah, I started shooting when I was 11 years old in Hillsboro, Oregon, with Tommy Garrigos, who won the silver medal in Mexico City.
Yeah.
That's how long I've been shooting. I'll be 76 in June, so there's hope for the old guys in this industry.
Exactly.
So.
And this guy is always, 8 of the top shooters in the country are senior vets. And that's a class you're in, correct?
Right.
And I'm in vet, and we've got a lot of good shooters out there as well. So there's hope for you. People are very friendly. They want to help you shoot really good trap. So with that, we're gonna get after them tomorrow. We've got singles and handicap all over again.
We got a lot of doubles this week, which I like.
Yeah.
I just got to fine tune them a little bit.
Oh, me too. I'll tell you.
You shot really good.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate that. Take a look at these trees, and we've shot today in 38-mile-an-hour gusts. So it's been real challenging, and I got to tell you, but we're having a great time out here. And remember, that's the number one thing. We do this for fun, right? So let's keep, it's very hard to kind of lose that focus sometimes.
Yeah, if you're not having fun, you're in the wrong place.
Exactly. Okay, with that, we'll see you at Hunt the Racket.
Okay.
Walking around, and guess who showed up? Are you excited, young lady?
Yes, I'm very excited, a little nervous.
So you're the squad leader, right?
Yeah, for the whole day.
Yeah. And you got to see her. When she's out there, she looks just like all the adults. She knows all the rules, all the ethics. She's a great little shot. Jeff, what do you think? We've shot for a week. I think, we had some ups and downs and some malfunctions, and
Yeah.
So what do you think about the overall experience here?
Overall, it's been a great shoot. Like Stan said here, you know, we've done a pretty good job. We've had some great scores. We've had some not so great scores, but overall, I think we've been really consistent. We've stayed on that short list on the HOA sheet, and you know, trying to put ourselves in a position where we can get some of those points. So.
Yeah, the main thing in these kind of meets, it's a marathon, not a sprint, it's a marathon. So you want to stay consistent. You don't want to have any of those blow up rounds. And you know, Bob Palmer, who we've talked about on the mental part of it, he's been coaching me through this meet. After we shoot, you know, we kind of critique things. But what he's done for me is actually leveled me out. So kept me from having the blow up rounds. And right in the hunt, you know, in the top 5 or in the vet division, and of course Jeff is, you know, right about the same in the open division. So we're really excited about getting started. Sophie, is there any predictions for the next week? What do you think?
I really hope it's not windy, so the birds aren't ducking. We'll have to go down and get them. But other than that, I think it'll be pretty good.
She says as her hair is going, so we're a little balmy today. So we're gonna have some real sporting clay shots. The right side, it's coming from the south-southwest, so I think the right corner is gonna be a little tricky one. Maybe hold a little low and try to stay under that bird, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well listen, we've got a lot more coming at you. We're really excited. Man, what a beautiful place this is. It's magnificent. I think there's over 50 traps, if I'm not mistaken. So stay tuned. We'll see you at Hunt to Racket. We are honored and privileged today to have one of the trap shooting icons in this country, Phil Kiner. Now, we all know about Phil Kiner. We've got his tapes. He gives a lot of clinics, and he's really helped a lot of, including Jeff Nostrom, who we're shooting with. This guy has really done a wonderful job for Jeff, and he can't say enough about him. So Phil, with that, I really appreciate you taking the time to talk to us today.
Okay.
What I'd like to ask you, Phil, is what are you thinking about when you, we're talking about handicap today. What do you think about when you go to the line?
Well, first off, let me say thanks for the overly friendly introduction, because that's blowing a lot of smoke up my skirt.
No, I don't think so, Phil.
But anyway, let me just tell you this, because I think all trap shooters evolve. And let me give you an example. In my early days, when I was on the 27 and scores weren't as high day to day as they are now, I would actually, pardon the pun, I would actually just go right before the event started. I would walk to the trash can and puke my guts out. and when I did that, 99 times out of 100, I had a big score. And I think what that was in my point of evolution mentally, was getting the pressure off a good way, so that it allowed me to focus on what was going on.
Right.
So when I go to the line, I am trying very hard to think about nothing, okay? And let me just tell you this, and not to brag, I've got 2 college degrees. I have read more books on mental things than it took to get 2 college degrees. And it's interesting, some of the things you learn, like Carlos Hathcock, when he was on a sniper thing, he crawled in the bubble, and when he was inside the bubble, the world went away. And that's what you want to do when you go to the line. So it's like
you're in the zone.
Yeah, but it's kind of interesting when you cross a point whatever your point is. Then it's from that point on, all you're doing is worrying about the next target and seeing the next target, and everything you do is tied to vision, if you will. If you can't see it, you don't hit it. So I go out there and I'm able to tell myself in a 100 target event to see that target 5, 6, 7, 8,000 times, tell myself to see that target. But what I'm doing when I do that is I am getting my mind away from anything and running pure on vocal, my vision system, not vocal. And I tell my guys when I'm teaching, bottoms up. So when I start with my gun up, switches all systems go off, and all I'm doing is switching into pure visual mode. And when I switch into pure visual mode, I'm not thinking about anything. One of the greatest answers I ever heard on what do you think about when you called for the target, it was a big Leo said, hopefully nothing. And that's the truth. And when I'm doing a good job, I have done a good job of successfully switching my system into 100% pure visual mode. When you're in pure visual mode, all you're doing is looking for the target. And if all you're doing is looking for the target, your targeting computer will take over.
There you have it. Still eyes, still mind, and still barrel. I mean, all the greats say the same thing, and this guy is one of the greats. You hold, you've shot how many 400s?
Okay. I'll brag a little bit. I've got 2 world records. I've got 2 400 by 400 all rounds, and I've got the high overall record on a standard high overall thing. I've got 995 out of 100, which is 400 singles, 400 handicap, 200 doubles.
There you have it. So that's the most important thing is the visual. We've been talking about that. So Phil Kiner, he says the same thing. You walk to that line, you want to go into the visual state.
Right.
And could you call that a peripheral? More of a peripherals where you're looking out on the horizon, you see the bird, and then your eyes just go right to it?
Yeah, I mean, wherever, everybody's got a different look point.
Right.
Everybody's got a different hot spot. But what you're in, wherever you're at with that spot, when the target appears, your eyes immediately go to it. You get that hard target lock, and you stay on it until the target breaks. But yes, and yeah, it is a visual mode, but it is also a mode that you know what you're doing. When you're doing it, it seems like it's taken 100 years, but when you get done, it seems like it took 2 minutes. It's really a strange system that you've got going on there, a strange reaction. But kind of when you're doing it. And then the other thing I do, and I read this in a book from somebody a long time ago, because I tell everybody, if I could say I'm going to give, boom, 75 straight in the state handicap championship, would you want to be there? And everybody goes, man, I would love that. If you took everybody and put them 75 straight in the state handicap championship, I will bet you good money that 95 of them would puke it up and not finish. And the reason is because when they get to where they are, then they get scared. Because when you get to where you want to do, so what I do when I get to like the last trap and I've got a good score going, I will say to myself, you are exactly where you wanted to be, so enjoy it. So we're going to have fun. We're exactly where we wanted to be. We're 75 straight, we're down one and whatever. We're exactly where we wanted to be. So instead of being scared of it, we're going to have fun with it and enjoy it. So I tell myself, this is fun, enjoy it.
You know what he's saying? I did exactly that today. Yours truly went 100 straight in singles. Yes, with this wind, I got down to the last 5 rounds, and what was I saying to myself? I was saying, man, am I having fun?
Yeah.
And I knew those last 5 shells were birds. So
now, you're going to think I'm crazy, and the if they could hear what all the good guys, Ray, Leo, etc., said to themselves when they were breaking a good score. But my last 5 targets on my first 400 straight, I walked up there and I got scared because I knew that if I broke, because anybody can break 5.
Right.
And so I walked up there and it's like sakes alive, look at number 5. Screw the score, look at number 4. Twiddly-dee, make sure I see number 3. Scooby-Doo, look at number 2. Son of a gun, all I got to do is see number 1. And I'm dead serious, and that's led us like crazy.
That's crazy.
But it's like psychotic.
Yeah.
But it broke the pressure enough that I could finish, because that's real easy not to finish on that.
Well, Phil, I got to tell you, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
He's giving clinics. Now, you're out of Cheyenne, right?
Cheyenne, Wyoming.
Cheyenne, Wyoming. He's on just all you got to do is Google him.
PhilKiner.com.
PhilKiner.com. Give him a call. This guy's incredible.
So,
with that, we'll see you at Hunt the Rocket. Folks, we just got done with singles. I'm walking around here, and guess who I run into? Ziggy Kachenko. You remember him from the Heartland Grand. He is the captain of the wheelchair team, All-American. And we have Alex York here from Illinois. This kid, his form is impeccable. I watch him run practice run in handicap 27. Does a really good job. You're turning 16?
Yes.
And so he's a junior, so he's the future of shooting. So I'm going to ask both of you guys, when you go to the handicap line, what are you thinking? What's your mindset? And what are you thinking about, for that round?
What I'm thinking about is slowing down, because I tend to get a little fast on times. Slow down, stay in the gun, make a good move, kill the target.
Make a good move, slow down. How about you?
I'm just worried about taking time to the target and making sure I'm on the target when I pull the trigger.
There you go. So, how important are the eyes of visual on handicap?
Very important, because if you don't see the target, you're not going to make a good move.
Yeah, I agree.
So I'll tell you what, this place is incredible. You might be able to see the background here, but we've got desert mountains in the background. Really beautiful. We got 50 traps. I bet you what, 800 people shooting?
I would say today you might be higher than that, because today actually started the grand portion of the program.
I mean, there's a lot of good shooters here. I think there are 2 pages of hundreds after the singles. So we're gonna get ready. We're gonna hit the handicap. Stay tuned, because we got some more interviews. So stay tuned. We'll see you at Hunt the Racket. Okay, folks, we just got done with handicap, and not a real good day. We managed to keep it in the 90s. Got a little lazy going into the on the first station, and had to pick it up. So picked it up, but I finished a little weak. So, but we'll regroup tomorrow. We've got I think we got handicap and
Doubles.
Doubles, yeah.
Yes, sir. Yep.
So I'm walking around, and guess who I will run into? You guys remember Clinton Phipps here? Remember he won state last year in Colorado in the B?
Yep.
B singles?
Yep.
B singles. So grabbed him, and I want to kind of ask him a few questions on how the shooting's been going and what's been going on with you.
You know, it's been amazing. I finished last year really good, finished out Rookie of the Year, and I was really happy to achieve that award. There's a lot of great shooters out there, but every day I put in work, every day I practice. I came down here to Tucson just to kind of compare myself to the competition. Where do I need to improve?
Right.
And you get to see a lot of experience here.
Yeah.
I ask tons of questions. I ask everybody that's been here and in the sport for a long time, what do you do to improve? How
Right.
much do you practice? You know,
Right.
what tools are you using now? And that's what I am really here for, is that experience.
Right. Well, so you hear this, is that what he came down, did you have any kind of expectations coming in?
You know, I try to keep an open mind, but I have my personal goals that I always try to reach.
Right.
You know, all of us want to be at the top of the leaderboard.
Right.
And, but I'm just trying to stay consistent. I want 90s or better all week. If I can do that, I'm going to be very happy with myself overall.
To stay steady. You know, this is a marathon. This is a real grind. We've been shooting now for a week, and we got another week left to shoot. So it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. So as long as you don't have any blow up rounds, you normally come in on that HOA pretty good. Now we've been able to, even on the bad days, accumulate some of the All-American points. So, you know, we've been in the top 3 scores, and that's what, you know, that's the important thing. But Clinton here, he's really impressed me because of his dedication. He has passion for the sport, and he's shooting. And that's everything. Remember, we're in search of our perfect swing this year. And the way to get that done is to keep shooting, and we're going to address the mental game as well. But Clinton, I'm really proud of you, my friend.
Hey, thank you very much.
You know, is there anything, you know, I think really in a big meet like this, the first time you come down, don't have a lot of expectations for yourself. Just do the best you can, and then try to really have a lot of fun, because there's a lot of people around here that, you know, we'll meet a lot of people, we'll make a lot of friendships before we leave. This big shoot is actually like a community. After 2 weeks, you get to know everyone, and then when you leave, it's almost kind of a sad deal, you know. But you can't wait to see them on the next shoot, and you keep seeing the same people. So I'm really proud of you.
Hey, thank you, Stan, very much.
You know, we've got a whole nother week, and Clinton's a big fan of our trap channel. So
Absolutely.
we want to keep in touch with him. He can share a lot of neat ideas with us, and we'll share them with you as well. He's on a journey.
I'm trying my best every day.
And you got a punch.
I did take a punch in handicap yesterday.
You're now on the.
I'm on the 23 now. 23? I was stuck on the 22 forever, and we had a real bad wind yesterday. I just mentally stayed tough and held through one target at a time. Finished out with a 94 and thought, you know, I did the best I possibly could in the wind.
Yeah.
And here it comes out. I was on top just to stay mentally strong in the wind.
Absolutely. You think you're shooting bad, but you don't understand. There's a lot of other people shooting bad because they're shooting in the wind. Right?
Yeah.
Well, we're going to have a lot more interviews today, so stay tuned, and we will see you at Hunt the Racket. We just got done with handicap, and I got to say I was a little tired. We stayed in there. We didn't have really a big blow up round. We didn't hurt ourselves too much. We stayed in the 90s. We'll be fine, but we're going to get a little rest and hit it again tomorrow pretty hard. Hey, I want to introduce you to someone. Daryl Farr here is probably, you've heard me talk about him. He's been very instrumental in my journey in getting to the AAA status and all that good stuff, and he's really helped me along the way. But I've never seen a raw shooter as good as this guy here. I mean, he's good at everything. He can do trick shooting, he can do skeet, he can do trap, he can do sporting clays, the whole bit. This guy is the real deal. So what we want to talk about today is doubles, because he's really a great double shooter. And Daryl, what I wanted to ask you is, how do you approach doubles? What do you think about when you go to the line, and what do you teach your students?
The first thing I try to be is, when you go after the first bird, is we got to have hold points. Know your feet right, everything's right. But calmly aggressive is kind of what I do. Because if you get too ramped up, you'll blow the first target, and if you blow the first target, you blow the target. So you're calmly aggressive, and what I mean by that is, you don't want to be hesitant on the first bird, but you don't jump shoot it.
Right.
So you just calmly aggressive to the first bird, and as soon as you see the first bird break, go to your second bird and kill it. Attack and drive. But staying calmly aggressive is what in my brain.
Right.
Because you want to go, but you don't want to be out of control when you get there.
A controlled aggressiveness.
Exactly. Just calmly,
Yeah.
So that's what I try and teach, and you've seen it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
everybody works so hard. They want to shoot that target so fast.
Yeah.
If you shoot it where it's supposed to be, it's not a problem.
Right.
You don't want to cause a problem on the first shot.
One of the hardest things that and I think most beginners have this, is that I had a hard time hitting that first bird, on a real aggressive basis. You get it right out of the house, so that second bird is just a floater by the time you come over. And I really had a hard time grasping that. And this guy really, helped me along, in picking that up. So, hey, Daryl, I really want to thank you for doing this and spending time with this. This guy here, he's on the first team All-American Kolar. Made it last year.
Yes, sir.
And he's also first team All-American, and we're really, really proud of him. And I don't think you took up trap, competitive trap, how long ago? 2 years ago. I mean, can you believe that? And he's an All-American. Just incredible.
Well, when they throw them around shooting, that can be pretty good.
Yeah. Well, listen, we got more interviews, so stay tuned. We will see you at Hunt the Racket. All right, I was walking around and stumbled into the Kolar trailer and walked in, and guess who showed up? Mr. Ricky Marshall, and you guys know Ricky. Ricky, how the heck have you been?
Good. How you doing, Stan?
And you've been shooting up a storm, haven't you?
Yeah, I just started today. The high overall started. So we shot 100 singles this morning and 100 handicap event this afternoon.
Nice.
Broke the 100 singles and 93 in the handicap. So, not horrible.
Yeah, you just keep alive.
Could have been a little better.
Stay alive.
So, but we got a long week of shooting ahead. So
I got to tell you, the owner of Kolar was in here, Jeff Mainland. Jeff?
Stan,
I'll tell you what,
see you again.
We bought this Kolar from Jeff not quite a year ago. And I got to tell you what my success has been. Got my AAA status. I'm now shooting at the 27-yard line. And I'm a AA double shooter. So won several events. The last week we won 2 first place, 2 second place, and 2 third places. So, accumulating that All-American status, using the Kolar. I got to recommend the gun to you. It's a really solid gun. It swings light. It's very well balanced. So, Jeff, I can't tell you how well, the quality of this gun is just incredible.
A lot of it is the operator also. We have a lot of good Kolar shooters out there, a lot of good people, and you get somebody like Stan here. It takes a good operator to be behind the gun also.
He's too kind. I mean, a good horse will make a rider look really good.
Well, and don't mention too, you didn't mention you broke 100 yesterday in the singles.
Oh yeah.
And about a 40-mile-an-hour wind and there was only 200s out of, I think there was 400 entries.
Yeah.
So that's a pretty good deal.
And
Where most people wouldn't shoot, Stan was out there to take care of business.
We were out there in the rain. I mean, I had the parka on last week. You guys remember that. Parka on, rain dripping down, and I broke a 97 in the doubles. So I shot a 50, and you know, when you accept it and just go with it, it's really a lot of fun.
Yep.
I wouldn't recommend, you know.
You've come a long way too from what, about 2 years ago when we first did lessons, you know, with you, and then now.
You guys remember that video where I was saying I wanted to win a bee shoot?
Yep.
And that I still haven't gotten in a shoot off with you though. Well, I mean, we got to work on that this week.
Hey, I'm trying to break every target too. If you can break every target also, we might end up with a shoot off at the end of the week.
Hey, what he's saying is he wants a piece of you out there.
He wants
Rick.
a piece of me.
Hey, I said the shoot off.
Yep.
Now I remember I told him, I said, hey, I want to know everything. And he goes, well, I'll teach you everything you know, but I don't know about teaching you everything I know.
Stan's come a long way, and you know, it's about putting in the time and the effort in shooting, the practice, and you do that.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's what the big thing is now. A lot of people don't, and you have to put in the, you know, 200, 300, 400 targets a day to get the success.
Right.
It just doesn't come, you know, like you're going to walk out and break 100 straights. You have to practice.
And guess what? I've had a great coach.
Yep.
This guy is our coach and club pro. Remember, we give the clinics, and these guns, you've got to take a look at the Kolar. A lot of you guys have called me and asked about the Max TA. I shoot the high profile. I love it. I can see better when I'm shooting handicap. I can see that whole horizon, and I just see the bird and swing through it, and it breaks it. So I'd highly recommend, give us a call. The number is right at the bottom of the screen there. We'll make sure you get in touch with the right dealer that's maybe in your area, and we'll send them your way. We've got to interview Ricky because he's got a real story around his life. I call him the Tiger Woods of trap. And he was a young kid traveling around in a station wagon, and you've got to hear this story. The guy is incredible. It's really a fun story. So stay tuned, and we'll see you at Hunt the Racket.